commented underneath that video, "We want to see Steph make 12 threes a game. Stop grabbing him, please."
Steph Curry's shooting coach has been posting about Caitlin Clark online. Steph was seen wearing her Nike shoes. Now there's growing evidence suggesting she could be training with his personal shooting coach. At the same time, Caitlin recently left a comment on Steph's interview that has people reading deeper into it. The link between these two keeps getting stronger, and the timing is interesting for more than one reason. Before we break it all down, quick question: if Caitlin Clark is truly working out with Steph Curry's shooting coach during the offseason, does that make her even more dangerous next season? Or is this just off-season buzz? Drop your thoughts below, because this connection matters. Caitlin Clark has been very active on social media lately, which is normal for her, but she said something recently that grabbed attention and sparked speculation about what might be happening behind the scenes. Steph Curry did an interview after a game where the Hornets were guarding him like everything depended on it. Caitlin commented on the clip. Her comment said, "We want to see Steph make 12 threes a game. Stop grabbing him, please."
He has seen it. But Caitlin Clark commented underneath that video, "We want to see Steph make 12 threes a game. Stop grabbing him, please." And she never really, she would say when something was a foul or to, a complaint to that ilk. But Caitlin hasn't come out and said, what they're doing isn't basketball that all.
On the surface, that looks like a fan supporting another star. But when you're Caitlin Clark and you make a comment that's specific about that exact issue, people take notice, because grabbing, holding, and constant physical pressure on the perimeter has been one of the biggest parts of Caitlin's WNBA experience so far. Let's look at what Steph actually said in that interview, because it matters. He was asked if the way the Hornets defended him bothered him, and his answer was spot on. He said, "Part of him pushes back because it's not real basketball, but another part feels flattered because it shows the level of attention he demands and how it opens shots for his teammates."
Did either of you in any way being guarded the way they did
There's a part of you that fights it just because it's not real basketball, but there's also a part of it that's flattering. Just knowing that you demand that much attention, and also what it does to create shots for other guys on the floor. So, and I've seen it all, so I know if that's how they want to guard, how I can be effective, not let it take me out of the game, but also kind of use it to our advantage as a team. And it's also funny at times just how egregious it is. There's one possession I gotta find. I'm actually getting the footage that actually stayed back in the backcourt a long time on purpose, just to see how long Sion would stay with me. So that was fun.
There's a play of 46 for you when you left
Yeah, we both knew what we were doing.
That line, "It's not real basketball," carries a lot of weight. Steph is politely pointing out that when defenses resort to grabbing, holding, and guarding instead of playing actual defense, it's not a real strategy. It's desperation disguised as toughness. And Caitlin Clark understands that feeling completely. She dealt with it non-stop during her first WNBA season. She was blitzed more than any other player early on. Defenses sent 2 and sometimes 3 defenders at her the moment she crossed half court. She was grabbed, held, bumped, and pushed on almost every possession.
Caitlin Clark, and you get the attention that she does, you're going to get outsized defensive attention. In her rookie season, she was blitzed more to start that year than any team. A lot of that is strategy. They know what she can do. They know where she has the ball, all that stuff. But then there's part of it like trying to prove a point against her. And then, of course, when you want to rough up the other team's star, that's what coaches preach. If the refs are going to let you do it, you do it. It's something that became a point of contention across her WNBA career so far, with Stephanie White, who probably deployed that strategy with the Connecticut Sun, saying that too much contact is allowed on the perimeter. And that's a thing across the WNBA, and it became a theme across the WNBA. But, Caitlin is allowed to be grabbed and held and all those things. Even to the point where I remember there was a broadcast where Rebecca Lobo pointed out, like, there's a foul, and there's a foul, and there's a foul, like Oprah giving.
Some of it is a valid defensive adjustment. When you are guarding the best shooter in the league, you change how you cover them, but some of it went too far into contact that would be whistled as fouls almost anywhere else, and WNBA officials largely allowed it. Stephanie White, who is now coaching Caitlin in Indiana, but coached against her in Connecticut last season, even acknowledged that excessive contact on the perimeter is allowed throughout the league. Rebecca Lobo did a broadcast where she highlighted several missed calls on Caitlin back-to-back, like Oprah handing out gifts. You get a foul, you get a foul, you get a foul. Yet Caitlin herself has mostly stayed quiet about this publicly. She has spoken up about specific moments like the Kennedy Carter shoulder check that clearly was not a basketball play, but she has not gone on record saying the way she is defended is not real basketball. She has not turned it into a public campaign the way some other players and coaches have. So when she responds to Steph's interview by saying stop grabbing him, that feels important because she is not only defending Steph, she is also speaking for herself without directly centering the conversation on her. It is a smart and measured way to make her point without sounding like she is complaining or asking for special treatment. And she is right. Fans want to watch Steph hit 12 threes in a game. That is why he moves jerseys in arenas everywhere and has signature shoes people wait in line to buy. His shooting is what makes him special. When defenses simply grab him to stop that, the game becomes worse for everyone watching. The same logic applies to Caitlin. Fans want to see her pull up from 30 feet, drain step back threes, and throw impossible passes. That is what makes her special. That is why attendance doubled when she played. That is why her games earn national TV slots. When defenses just rough her up and referees swallow the whistle, a product declines. The WNBA has oddly marketed extreme physicality as a point of pride, as if allowing more contact somehow makes the league tougher or more authentic. That logic is backwards. The NBA limits that kind of grabbing and holding because it wants its stars to shine. They know fans tune in to watch offensive brilliance, not constant defensive mugging. Kelsey Plum has spoken about this. Becky Hammon has spoken about this. Natalie Nakase has spoken about this. Stephanie White has spoken about this. It is a league-wide problem that affects perimeter players, especially elite shooters. But what is notable is that Caitlin has not been outspoken about it until now. She has been careful, likely because she knows complaining about officiating can make you seem soft or like you are making excuses. Commenting on Steph's situation gives her a way to say the same thing without making it directly about her. Now let's look at the other links between Caitlin and Steph that have sparked speculation. Steph recently wore Caitlin's Nike shoes. His shooting coach has been posting about her online, and based on the context, there is a strong chance that Caitlin is training with Steph's personal shooting coach during the off-season. If that is true, and there is no confirmation yet, but the signs point that way, It would be a huge development. Steph Curry's shooting. Coach works with the greatest shooter in basketball history. The drills, methods, and techniques that have kept Steph at an elite level for more than a decade would be incredibly valuable for Caitlin. And it makes complete sense. Caitlin is already the top shooter in women's basketball, but if she sharpens her mechanics further, improves her shot prep, and adds new elements based on what has worked for Steph, she becomes even harder to stop. The connection also fits from a branding standpoint. Nike has invested heavily in both of them. They are both undersized guards who changed how people think about range. They face similar defensive attention and physical pressure. The overlap is obvious. Steph has always supported women's basketball. He has talked about his daughters playing and wanting them to have role models in the WNBA. Caitlin represents the type of player who can inspire the next generation the same way Steph inspired kids to start shooting from the logo. That alignment in values and style creates mutual respect. But there is also competition. Caitlin is not satisfied with just being good. She wants greatness. She wants titles. If training with Steph's group in the off-season gives her an edge, she is smart enough to take it. The timing of all this is interesting too. Caitlin made another social media comment that drew attention. Elijah Saraton, Indiana receiver playing in the college football national championship, shared that his dog is named Caitlin Clark, Chi-Chi, and Caitlin replied saying both the player and the dog are welcome courtside this year, not if there is a season. A casual confirmation that games are happening. She sounds confident the CBA talks will work out and the WNBA season will move forward as planned. She is probably right because she is the biggest leverage the players have. WNBA players are only in position to push for major raises because of what happened in Caitlin's rookie season. Attendance surged. Viewership records fell. Merchandise sales exploded. Sponsors who ignored the league for years suddenly wanted in. That all happened because of Caitlin and the attention she brought. So when she says there will be a season, it matters. If she believed there was a real risk of no season, she would choose her words more carefully. Casually inviting people courtside suggests she knows more than the public about where talks stand. Caitlin spoke recently at a USA basketball camp and said none of the CBA issues matter if they are not playing. She called this the most important moment in WNBA history and said players must fight for what they believe in but also be willing to compromise. That is an unusually mature and practical take for someone in year 2. It also shows she understands her role. She is the engine behind the players' leverage. Her voice should matter because she is the one generating the revenue that makes higher salaries possible. The contrast between NBA and WNBA officiating is clear. The NBA struggles with flopping and exaggerating contact. The WNBA has the opposite issue where real contact goes uncalled. Both hurt the product in different ways. Steph saying excessive face guarding and grabbing is not real. Basketball should resonate with WNBA leaders because it is true. Real basketball is skill, spacing, movement, and execution. When defenders can just grab shooters and deny clean looks without consequences, the game suffers. Caitlin dealt with this constantly. Teams assigned their most physical defender to bump her off screens, hold her on cuts, hand check her bringing the ball up, and refs let most of it slide because of a strange culture that celebrates physicality even when it turns cheap. The Kennedy Carter play was the clearest example. That was not defense. It was a cheap shot meant to send a message. Caitlin called it out as not a basketball play. That moment was obvious enough for her to speak up. The constant subtle grabbing every possession is harder to call out. without sounding like you are whining. So using Steph's situation lets her address it indirectly. She is not complaining about herself. She is supporting another player facing the same issues. Anyone paying attention knows she is also talking about her own experience. The "we want to see Steph make 12 threes a game" comment stands out because that is exactly what fans want from Caitlyn too. They want the Harminsforint Bimes. They want records broken. They want offensive brilliance, not defensive mugging. If the WNBA truly wants to grow, as shown by expansion plans and bigger media deals, they need to let their stars shine. That means officiating that allows elite offense to flourish. It does not mean removing physicality entirely, but it means finding balance. The Caitlyn and Steph connection will only deepen if she is actually training with his shooting coach. The methods that have kept Steph elite into his late 30s could extend Caitlyn's prime and reduce where from constant defensive focus. Imagine Caitlyn returning next season with cleaner mechanics, better preparation, and new wrinkles learned from Steph's team. She is already the most dangerous offensive player in the league. If she levels up again, defenses will turn to even more desperate tactics to slow her, which brings it back to officiating. As Caitlyn improves, the physical pressure will increase unless the league intervenes. Her comment on Steph's interview may be the first step in that conversation. She is too smart to lead a public fight over referees. That approach rarely works. By aligning with Steph and echoing the same concerns, she applies pressure without becoming the target. The fact that Stephanie White, who once used those physical tactics against Caitlyn in Connecticut, is now coaching her in Indiana adds another layer. White knows how effective that strategy was and also knows it is bad for the league long term. Her voice matters because she is acknowledging a systemic issue, not just defending her player. Caitlyn Clark training with Steph Curry's shooting coach and calling out the same defensive tactics they both face is not coincidence. This is about improving her game and strengthening her leverage to influence how the WNBA is officiated. If you want more breakdowns on Caitlyn's off-season moves and what they mean for next year, hit like and subscribe. The WNBA better be